All right, so you're prepping for a petroleum engineer interview.
Definitely high stakes.
Yeah, and we've got some RoleCatcher resources here to help us with this deep dive into acing this interview.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool is that RoleCatcher doesn't just give you generic advice. They actually have AI that analyzes job descriptions
Oh, wow.
and tailors feedback to your specific situation.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's a cool tool.
Okay, so before we get to the AI magic, let's lay the groundwork. What exactly does a petroleum engineer do? I mean, we know it involves oil and gas, but it's got to be more than just digging holes.
Right. It's not just about extraction.
Yeah.
They're the ones that find the oil and gas reserves, figure out how to get them out efficiently, and then manage that whole production process.
Okay.
They're also responsible for making sure those resources are tapped into responsibly, both from an economic and environmental standpoint.
So it's a blend of like technical know-how, problem solving,
Yeah.
and even a little bit of environmental awareness.
Yeah,
It sounds like a pretty demanding role.
it definitely is.
So let's jump right into some common interview questions that you'll likely face.
Okay, that's good.
RoleCatcher has a whole library of these, and we've picked out a few that really kind of get to the heart of what this job is all about.
Sounds good. And remember, how you answer is just as important as what you know.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like telling a story.
Okay.
You want to be clear, concise, and engaging.
Okay, so first up, describe a time you had to solve a complex problem related to oil and gas extraction. What was your approach and what was the outcome?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one sounds like they're really trying to see how you think on your feet.
Yeah, they want to know that you can handle the pressure,
Right.
So this is where, that classic STAR method comes in.
Yeah.
Situation, task, action, result.
Okay.
Lay out the scene, explain the challenge, describe what you did, and then boom, you hit them with a positive outcome.
I like it. Okay. So let's say you were working on a project where oil production suddenly dropped.
Yeah.
How would you tackle that in a STAR format?
Well, you could say something like, we noticed a significant decrease in production from one of our wells.
Okay.
After examining the data, I suspected a blockage in the production tubing.
Okay.
I suggested using a diagnostic tool to confirm the issue,
Okay.
and then propose using a specialized tool to remove the blockage.
All right.
This operation was a success, and production levels returned to normal.
Boom.
Right. So you see how that follows that STAR method.
It totally does. You laid it all out clearly, concisely, with a positive outcome. I like it. Okay, next question. What are some of the key challenges facing the oil and gas industry today, and how do you see those challenges impacting the role of a petroleum engineer? This one seems like it's testing your big picture thinking.
Absolutely. It's not just about listing challenges. They want to see if you understand, the industry's trends
Right.
and how those trends are going to shape the future of this job.
Yeah. So how would you connect those dots?
Well, you could mention things like the global push for renewable energy sources,
Oh, yeah.
the increasing need to reduce environmental impact, and the growing complexity of extraction techniques.
Okay.
Then you could explain how these forces might require petroleum engineers to develop new skills, embrace new technologies, and focus on sustainable practices.
Okay. So can you give me like a specific example?
Sure. You could say the drive towards sustainability presents a significant challenge, but it also creates opportunities for petroleum engineers to spearhead the development of cleaner extraction methods and minimize the industry's carbon footprint.
Oh, no.
I'm personally very interested in exploring carbon capture and storage technologies.
That's great. It shows you're not only aware of the challenges, but also excited to be part of the solution.
Exactly.
Okay, now for a technical one, explain the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary oil recovery methods. Time to show off those textbook definitions.
Not so fast.
Okay.
While understanding the technical definitions is crucial, you want to try to explain them in a way that someone outside the industry could grasp.
Okay.
Think about the underlying pressure dynamics at play.
So rather than simplifying it too much, we aim for clear and concise explanations, right?
Precisely.
Okay.
For example, you could say, primary recovery uses the natural pressure of the reservoir to extract oil, much like water flows from a high point to a lower one.
Okay.
Secondary recovery involves injecting water or gas to maintain reservoir pressure and displace more oil towards production wells.
Okay.
Finally, tertiary recovery employs advanced methods like injecting chemicals or heat to alter the oil's properties, allowing it to flow more easily and maximizing extraction.
Wow, that's actually fascinating.
Right.
You managed to explain it clearly without oversimplifying.
Sure.
All right, moving on to a question about staying up to date in this ever-changing field.
Yeah.
How do you stay current with the latest advancements in petroleum engineering technology and practices? What are some good ways to demonstrate your commitment to lifelong learning?
Well, attending industry conferences and workshops is always a great way to, learn about the latest
Wow.
developments. Reading technical journals and publications
Okay.
keeps you informed about research and advancements. Online forums and communities also provide valuable insights and discussions.
Yeah, RoleCatcher specifically mentions the importance of certain certifications.
Oh, yeah.
They highlight the Professional Engineer, PE license, and the Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE certification.
Those are great credentials to have.
Yeah.
They really showcase your expertise and commitment to professional growth.
Yeah.
You can even mention, specific courses or training programs you've completed to enhance your skills.
So it's about showing you're proactive and continuously seeking knowledge.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Now let's dive into a teamwork question. Tell me about a time you had to work as part of a team to achieve a common goal.
Yeah.
What was your role, and how did you contribute to the team's success? I always find these tricky. How do you showcase your teamwork skills without sounding like you're bragging?
Yeah, focus on the actions that you took and how
Yeah.
they benefited the team.
Okay.
Did you take on a leadership role? Did you leverage your technical expertise to overcome a specific obstacle? Did you effectively communicate with your team members to ensure everyone was on the same page?
Okay, so for example,
You could say, during a well testing operation, I was responsible for data analysis and interpretation.
Mm.
I noticed inconsistencies in the initial interpretation, so I
Gotcha.
brought it to the team's attention.
okay.
Together, we reanalyzed the data and arrived at a more accurate understanding, which ultimately led to a successful well completion.
Nice.
You see how that highlights your contribution without boasting?
That's a perfect example. You demonstrated your technical skills, your willingness to speak up, your ability to collaborate effectively. On to a question that can be a bit uncomfortable. Describe a time you made a mistake at work. What did you learn from it, and how did you apply those lessons to future projects? Everyone makes mistakes, but I bet they're looking for how you handle them right.
Absolutely. This is about demonstrating accountability
Okay.
and a growth mindset. You want to be honest about the mistake, own your actions,
Yeah.
and then emphasize the lessons you learned and the steps you took to avoid repeating it.
So for instance,
You could say, early in my career, I underestimated the importance of thorough documentation during a well logging procedure.
okay.
This resulted in the loss of some valuable data. I learned from that experience that meticulous documentation is essential for accurate analysis and informed decision-making.
Okay.
Since then, I've implemented a rigorous documentation protocol for all my projects to prevent similar errors.
That shows you not only acknowledged the mistake, but also took proactive measures to prevent it from happening again. Now, the question that always makes me a little nervous, what are your salary expectations for this role? How do you approach this one without underselling yourself or seeming unreasonable?
It's a two-way street.
Okay.
Do your research on average salaries for petroleum engineers in your area, taking into account your skills, your experience, and the specific responsibilities of the role.
Okay.
Be prepared to negotiate, but always maintain a professional and respectful tone.
So what's a good way to phrase your answer?
You could say, based on my research and my qualifications, I'm aiming for a salary range of insert range here.
Oh.
However, I'm open to discussing the compensation package in more detail, considering the specific responsibilities and opportunities associated with this position.
That sounds confident and open to discussion.
Right.
Perfect. Now, before we move on to more questions, I want to touch on something RoleCatcher emphasizes. They're AI-powered tools.
Oh, yeah. That's where things get really interesting.
They claim their AI can actually analyze job descriptions and suggest tailored responses for your applications and even your interview answers.
Wow.
It's like having a personal career coach at your fingertips.
Yeah, imagine this. Their AI digs deep into the job description, picks up on keywords and skills,
Okay.
and then uses that information to help you craft responses that hit the mark.
Oh, wow.
It can even identify potential gaps in your resume and suggest ways to address them.
And they have this cool AI-powered video practice feature where you can record yourself answering interview questions and get feedback on your delivery, your tone, and even your body language.
Oh, that's great.
Talk about next-level prep.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert, but on your own time and in the comfort of your own space. And the best part is, many of these features are available for free.
So you can try it out before committing to a paid subscription. I love that. We'll dive into more of RoleCatcher's AI capabilities later, but for now, let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, Are you ready for another round of those brain-tickling interview questions?
Get me with your best shot. I feel like we're getting into the zone now.
Okay, this one tests your ability to think on your feet and stay calm under pressure. Imagine you're working on a drilling project and suddenly there's a major equipment malfunction. What steps would you take to address the situation?
So it's not just about technical knowledge, but also crisis management skills.
Right.
I want to see how you handle a high-pressure situation.
Exactly. The interviewer's looking for a clear thought process, an understanding of risk assessment, and above all, a commitment to safety.
Safety first, got it. What would be a good approach to answering this one?
Well, you want to start by emphasizing safety as your top priority.
Okay.
You could say, my first action would be to ensure the safety of everyone on site. I'd immediately initiate emergency shutdown procedures and evacuate the area if necessary.
That makes perfect sense. Then what?
Once the immediate safety concerns are addressed, you'd want to assess the situation and gather information.
Okay.
You could say, I'd work with the team to pinpoint the cause of the malfunction and determine the extent of the damage. Then I'd consult with experts and develop a plan for either repair or replacement of the equipment.
It sounds like you need to show you're thinking strategically, considering the impact on the entire project.
Absolutely. You could add, while dealing with the immediate issue, I'd also consider the potential consequences for the project's timeline and budget. I'd keep stakeholders informed about the situation and explore ways to minimize any delays or cost overruns.
That demonstrates proactive thinking and a solution-oriented mindset. Okay, here's a question that's a bit more philosophical. What are your thoughts on the future of the oil and gas industry, given the global shift towards renewable energy sources? How do you approach this one without sounding like you're clinging to the past?
It's a question that requires a balanced perspective.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the undeniable growth of renewables while also emphasizing the continued importance of oil and gas, at least for the foreseeable future.
And don't forget to highlight the evolving role of petroleum engineers in this changing landscape.
Precisely. You could say, the transition to renewable energy sources is undeniably crucial for the future of our planet. However, oil and gas will continue to play a vital role in fulfilling global energy demands for many years to come. Petroleum engineers will be at the forefront of developing more efficient and sustainable extraction methods, ensuring a responsible and balanced approach to energy production.
That's a great way to frame it, acknowledging the shift while emphasizing your own value and adaptability. Okay, shifting gears. Describe a time when you had to present technical information to a non-technical audience. How did you ensure they understood the key concepts? This one's all about communication skills, right?
Absolutely. It's about translating complex ideas into a language that everyone can understand.
So ditch the jargon and simplify.
Simplify, yes, but without dumbing it down.
Okay.
Use clear language analogies and visual aids to illustrate the concepts effectively.
Okay.
You could say, when I presented a new drill-in technique to a group of investors, I avoided technical jargon and opted for visual aids and relatable analogies to explain the process. I also make sure to check in with the audience regularly, asking questions and clarifying any points that needed further explanation.
I like that using visuals and checking for understanding shows you're a thoughtful communicator. Okay, here's one that lets you show off your passion for the field. What are some of the most exciting advancements in petroleum engineering that you're following closely? Let's geek out for a minute.
Oh, there are so many fascinating developments.
Yeah.
Digital reservoir modeling is revolutionizing how we understand and manage oil and gas reservoirs. Enhanced oil recovery techniques are constantly evolving, pushing the boundaries of what's extractable. And then there's the incredible application of artificial intelligence and machine learning in optimizing production.
It sounds like it's a really dynamic field with a lot of innovation happening.
It absolutely is. You could also mention advancements in drill-in automation and robotics, which are transforming the way we operate in challenging environments.
Okay, back to some more practical questions.
Yeah.
Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult colleague or client. How did you handle the situation? I bet they're looking for how you navigate conflict and maintain professionalism.
That's exactly what they want to see.
Yeah.
Focus on your communication skills, your ability to manage conflict constructively, and your commitment to maintaining positive working relationships.
Okay.
You could say something like, I had a client who frequently changed the project specifications, leading to delays and frustration. I made it a point to actively listen to their concerns, explain the impact of their requests, and collaborate with them to find solutions that met their needs while staying within the project scope.
It sounds like you found a balance between being flexible and assertive. Great qualities to demonstrate. Now let's talk about career progression. RoleCatcher's Career Guide outlines the typical stages of a petroleum engineer's career path.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how your responsibilities evolve as you gain experience.
Yeah.
You might begin your journey as an entry-level petroleum engineer, working alongside senior engineers and focusing on data analysis and field operations.
Then as you develop your skills, you could progress to a junior petroleum engineer role, where you take on more responsibility for tasks like reservoir simulations and well testing.
With continued growth and expertise, you could advance to a senior petroleum engineer position, leading a team developing reservoir management strategies and evaluating new technologies.
And ultimately, you could even reach the level of principal petroleum engineer, overseeing major projects, mentoring junior engineers, and influencing the direction of the industry.
It's a path that offers a great deal of potential for both professional development and leadership opportunities.
And remember those certifications we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah?
RoleCatcher emphasizes the significance of a PE license and SPE certification in boosting your career prospects.
They can definitely give you an edge.
Yeah, they can really give you an edge in this competitive field. Now, before we move on to our final round of questions, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI tools. We mentioned how they can help tailor your application materials and interview answers, but they also offer a feature that helps you get noticed by employers.
Yes, the AI-powered profile matching feature.
Oh, right.
By opting in, you allow employers to search for candidates based on specific skills and experience.
Oh, that's cool.
Your optimized RoleCatcher profile can then appear in their searches.
It's like flipping the script on the traditional job search.
Exactly.
Instead of hunting for jobs, you're essentially letting the jobs come to you.
Exactly. Their AI ensures that your profile stands out and aligns with the requirements employers are looking for, increasing your chances of getting noticed by the right companies. All right, we're back for our final round of interview prep.
Oh, yeah.
You've already tackled some tough questions. Are you ready to seal the deal?
Yeah, bring it on. I'm feeling much more confident already thanks to all these insights from RoleCatcher.
Excellent. Confidence is key in any interview. Okay, here's a classic one that often trips people up. Why are you interested in this particular role at our company?
Okay.
It's easy to fall into generic answers here, but this is your chance to shine and show you've done your homework.
So more than just saying, it's a great company or I want to work in the oil and gas industry.
Exactly. Go deeper. Research the company, its specific projects, its values, and its culture. Find those points that truly resonate with your interests and goals and articulate those connections clearly.
Can you give me an example of how to approach this question effectively?
Sure. Let's say the company emphasizes sustainability and has a strong track record in offshore drilling.
Okay.
You could say, I'm particularly impressed by your company's commitment to sustainable development and your innovative approach to offshore drilling. My skills and experience in those areas align perfectly with your company's vision, and I believe I could make a valuable contribution to your team.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It shows you've gone beyond surface-level research and found a genuine connection. Now, another common question that often makes people squirm. Tell me about your greatest strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, yeah, that one.
How do you handle this one without sounding too boastful or overly critical of yourself?
Honesty and self-awareness are key here.
Okay.
When discussing strengths, highlight those skills and qualities that are directly relevant to the job and back them up with concrete examples. For weaknesses, choose something you're genuinely working on improving and frame it as a growth opportunity.
Give me an example of a strength and weakness answer that hits the right notes.
You could say, one of my greatest strengths is my ability to analyze complex data and identify patterns. I'm a natural problem solver, and I enjoy digging deep into the details. However, I'm also aware that I can sometimes get a bit too focused on the details and lose sight of the bigger picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actively working on improving my time management and prioritization skills to ensure I stay on track and meet deadlines efficiently.
That's a really good approach. It shows you're both competent and committed to self-improvement. Okay, the final question, and often the one that leaves the biggest impression. Do you have any questions for us? I know it can be tempting to just say, nope, you covered everything, but that's a MIF opportunity, right?
Absolutely. This is your chance to demonstrate your genuine interest in the role and the company.
Yeah.
Asking thoughtful questions not only helps you gather information, but also shows you're engaged and curious.
So what are some good questions to ask that leave a positive impression?
You could inquire about specific projects the company is working on, opportunities for professional development and growth within the organization, or even the company's culture and values. It's also a great time to clarify anything that wasn't fully addressed during the interview.
Those are all great tips. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into interview prep, I want to circle back to something RoleCatcher highlights. The potential pros and cons of a career as a petroleum engineer.
Yeah, it's essential to go into any career path with a realistic understanding of both the rewards and the challenges.
For sure.
On the plus side, petroleum engineering offers excellent earning potential,
hmm
exciting travel opportunities, and the chance to work on projects that have a significant impact on the world's energy supply.
But it's also a demanding field that often requires long hours, potential exposure to hazardous environments, and the ability to adapt to fluctuations in the global energy market.
It's important to weigh those factors carefully and determine if this career aligns with your long-term goals and personal values.
Well said. So as we conclude this deep dive, what are some key takeaways you'd like to leave our listener with as they prepare for their petroleum engineer interview?
Preparation is key. Thoroughly research the company and the specific role. Practice your answers to common interview questions, and be prepared to showcase your technical expertise, problem-solving skills, and adaptability. Most importantly, let your passion for the field shine through.
And remember, RoleCatcher had your back with their fantastic AI-powered tools that can help you tailor your applications, practice your interview responses, and even get discovered by potential employers. It's like having a personalized career coach in your pocket.
Absolutely. Leveraging these resources can significantly boost your chances of success in landing that dream job.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into petroleum engineer interview prep. We hope you found these insights helpful and feel ready to ace that interview.
Best of luck. We're confident you'll do great.
Remember, the oil and gas industry is facing exciting challenges and opportunities, and with your skills and dedication, you can be a part of shaping its future. Until next time, happy learning.